cheer up. It's all in your head. Life isn't bad. No other happy one thing you do. What do you have to be surprised about? You weren't depressed. Snap out of it. You'll feel better tomorrow. Depression is not a choice. We did choose to be depressed. It is an illness. Disclaimer. I am not a doctor and I will not be the best person to give advice. But if you ever have questions or second opinion or advice, I urge you to see a real doctor, talk to the therapist or a counselor to help you. I took the name Chronic Depression Fraud. My name is Christina with the K. I'm hoping so I may not get this right. The D is silent, so I sort of figured I swap the C with the K. And I'm wearing the name Chronic Depression Fraud. I don't have any better name for this channel. If you have any better ideas, just drop it in the comments. And I'll reconsider changing name. I am diagnosed with chronic depression and generalized anxiety disorder. And I heard most of what was said to me before. So what you say are like a dagger cutting through 1,000 times and it hurts. The conversation would take place would replay over and over in our head, analyzing word for word. The more we replay it, the deeper we go, and our imagination can get out of control. Most of the time, depression and anxiety do go hand in hand. And it was kicking, causing you or worried that people who say that to us doesn't really care about us. And we get really intentionally direct out that it gets to the point where we either chose not to talk about it with people, not reaching out for help, and try to handle it ourselves alone. Disease that seems unlikely. We won't be able to focus anymore, and we won't be able to fund it. To some, we get ringing in our ears because of the high extent of anxiety. And sometimes we get really intense. It would drive us a bit crazy. This feeling will keep building inside of us and so overwhelming. Then we will feel like we did something wrong. We mess up, we blame it on ourselves. We worry about losing our friends and family, and we worry about being alone, and we feel alone. We feel isolated. I once wrote this about isolation in my journal, and I say that we're not really alone. We may feel like we are alone, but the truth is that we're not, because we still have this darkness on our back. Give you piggyback, and it weighs down on us, whispering in our ears, saying horrible things and laughing at us. We don't want to be left isolated. We long for connecting with someone who will understand what depression can do to both of us who are dealing with it. We long for support from our friends and family. I'm here because I want to understand myself better, and I hope that there are people who can relate to this. I want to reach out to people who are dealing with this illness. I want to start off first to talk about the disorder that I'm diagnosed with. I just think if I hear myself talk about this, and analyze for myself so I could try to cope with it. I am still trying to find an outlet. I'm seeing a counselor and I am taking medication to help stable with what's going on in my head. To be honest, I would never thought of discussing this about this publicly, but I feel that mental health in general is rarely to talk about, especially with depression, anxiety, PTSD, and so on. Because there are some people that don't really believe that it's real and it's happening, we can't talk about it with some of them because we stare of being judged. I think that has to change because most of the time we're actually everyone to be there for us. We want them to just listen, have it all sort of mental illness or serious, and we simply asking for help. Often we get turned away, and that feeling of rejection, it hurts. It can create a ripple effect in our bodies, how we function, and the ability to live our lives. We'll change our ways of thinking, our behavior will change. We'll clam up and not talk about it with anyone, with anyone anymore. Because we feel and think like no one will understand and no one will care. That has to stop. Please look into your children and please look into one of your family members. And please look into one of your friends who are also going through it. Be there for them and tell them that everything will be okay. Ask them what they want to do. Ask them if there's anything that you can do about it. It doesn't hurt to ask. So what exactly is a chronic depression, also known as schizophrenia? It is a mild but long-term form of depression, and symptoms usually last for more than 2 years. It goes on much longer than that. It interferes with your ability to function in your life. With schizophrenia, you may lose interest in normal daily activity, feel hopeless, lack positivity, and have low self-esteem and an overall feeling of inadequacy. People with schizophrenia are often thought of being over critical, constantly complaining, and incapable of having fun. Schizophrenic disorder usually co-occurs with other disorders like major depression, anxiety, personality, and some other forms of disorder. Some of the symptoms in schizophrenia are low appetite or overeating, trouble sleeping or excessive sleeping, tiredness or other physical symptoms, low self-esteem or feeling of inadequacy, trouble concentrating or making decisions and hold like that. For more information about dysthymia, I would like you to take a look in the link in the description. So let's talk about gangland anxiety disorder. According to Mayo Clinic website, it is an excessive ongoing anxiety and worry that interfere with day-to-day activity that could maybe a sign of generalized anxiety disorder. It is possible to develop generalized anxiety disorder as a child or as an adult. Generalized anxiety disorder has symptoms that are similar to panic disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, and other types of anxiety, but they're all different conditions. Living with generalized anxiety disorder can be a long-term challenge. In many cases, it occurs along with other anxiety or mood disorder. In most cases, generalized anxiety disorder improves with medication or talk therapy, psychotherapy. Make it lifestyle changing, learning, coping skills, and using relaxation techniques also can help. The symptoms in generalized anxiety disorder are, and keep this in mind, the symptoms may vary and everybody has a similar. Persistent worry or obsessed about small or large concerns that's out of proportion to the impact of the event. Inability to set aside or let go of the worry. Inability to relax, restlessness, and feeling keyed up or on edge. Difficult concentrating on the feeling like a mind goes blank. Worrying about excessively worrying. Distract about making decisions for fear of making the wrong decision. Carry every option in a situation all the way out to possible negative conclusion. Difficulty handling uncertainty or indifference. Physical signs and symptoms may include fatigue, irritability, muscle tension or muscle aches, trembling, twitchy, easily startled, trouble sleeping, sweating, nausea, diarrhea, or irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, headache. Your words are unlikely to simply go away on their own, and they might actually can get worse over time. Try to seek professional help before your anxiety becomes severe. It may be easy to treat alone. Again, and I say I'm no doctor and I'm only doing this to recover and find out if I actually learn anything from this, make it feel. I have had strong depression and generalized anxiety disorder for so long since I was very young. It's hard to talk about it because I went through a lot in my past. I did have a good childhood. I have a wonderful family, and I've been with a man I love for 12 years, and we got married a year ago. I'm not going to keep going with this video. I think that'll be all for now. I will be making another vlog to discuss more about it. Hopefully not as long as this one, but if you do have questions, commonly. I will have to review them first before I allow the question to be shown in public. I may or may not answer them. Please don't be offended if I didn't answer your question. I might find it offensive, or I'm not sure how to answer that. You'll see and you'll know. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and rate. Bye.